You wake up before the alarm even rings. The room is dark, but your mind is already racing. Another night of restless sleep, and you know exactly why. You stare at your reflection. The eyes looking back at you are hollow, ringed with exhaustion. For weeks you've tried to prepare for this day, but how do you prepare to take a life? Today you're not just reporting for duty, you're walking into a prison and walking out with blood on your hands. You tell yourself it's just another workday, but you know that's a lie. Most people drive to an office, clock in, answer emails. You drive through steel gates, past armed guards, and into silence. The kind of silence that feels like it's listening to you. When you joined the prison service, you just wanted a stable job, a paycheck, a pension, something steady. You never thought it would lead here, to death row. They don't tell you what it does to a person, the waiting, the watching. How the faces of the condemned stay with you long after the lights go out. How you start to measure time, not in hours, but in executions. A study once said that nearly 1 in 3 officers who take part in executions develop symptoms of post-traumatic stress. But no number can really explain what it feels like to stand in that room. To know that when the time comes, your hands will be the last ones a man ever depends on. Death row isn't loud. It's not chaos or violence like most people imagine. It's silence. Long, heavy silence that never really leaves. Each cell is barely 3 meters wide, a bed bolted to the floor, a sink, a toilet, and a single window too high to look through. Some of the men here have been waiting for years, others for decades. Their lives reduced to schedules, meals at 6, lights out at 9, and endless hours in between. Every day they wait for an appeal, a miracle, or just for time to run out. The shortest stay on death row lasted 8 months. The longest, over 30 years. Long enough for a young man to grow old without ever seeing the sun again. You've walked that corridor countless times, passing door after door. You stop hearing words. You just feel the weight. The hope, the anger, the fear, leaking through steel and concrete. Some talk to themselves. Some pray. And some just stare at the wall, as if trying to see through it. This is where time slows down, where every second feels like a sentence of its own. When you first took the job, you tried to understand it. You read everything you could find. Old records, forgotten stories, names that history left behind. You wanted to know who came before you. What kind of people chose to stand where you're standing now? Executioners have existed for as long as laws have. Back then, they weren't officers or professionals. They were outcasts, feared, hated, but necessary. They were called headsmen because that's exactly what they did. In the Middle Ages, a good executioner could end a life with a single clean swing. A bad one turned it into a spectacle. John Ketch was one of the worst. England's official executioner in the 1600s, he was known for missing his mark, sometimes needing 7 or 8 blows to finish the job. Crowds came to watch him, then left, horrified. His name became a curse, whispered like the devil's own. But time moved on. The axe became the rope. The rope gave way to the guillotine. And each invention promised something new. Precision, efficiency, mercy. Yet every time someone still had to pull the lever. By the 1800s, executioners were no longer judged by strength, but by their skill with machines. The electric chair, the gas chamber, the syringe. Tools designed to make death clinical, almost invisible. And with every new method, the executioner faded a little further into the shadows. No one cheered, no one watched. Only silence, paperwork, and another name crossed off a list. Time has changed everything, except what it feels like. Now, the executioner doesn't wield an axe or pull a rope. He stands behind glass, pressing a sequence of buttons in perfect order. Every step has been planned, rehearsed, and signed off by 3 different departments. It's not strength that matters anymore, it's precision. For weeks, you and your team have been preparing for tonight. Every syringe, every line, every valve has been checked and rechecked. The drugs are stored in a locked case. The paperwork fills an entire binder. Everything must work perfectly, because mistakes don't just make headlines, they haunt careers. This time, the condemned is a man named Monroe. They call him Mad Dog. You've seen him through the bars, calm, almost indifferent, like he's already somewhere else. But you've also seen that flicker in his eyes, the kind that makes you wonder if he's memorizing your face. As the sun sets, the prison shifts into lockdown. Security doubles. Radios crackle. Every movement is logged. The air feels heavy, as if the walls themselves are holding their breath. And as the night begins, you can feel it too. The weight of what's coming, waiting just beyond the next locked door. 24 hours, that's all that's left. Inside the prison, everything changes. The corridors grow quieter, the security tighter. Every gate, every door, every shift, logged and double-checked. No one says it aloud, but everyone knows why. You start your shift at dusk. It feels wrong to arrive as the sun is setting, but that's how it's always done. Executions happen at night, when the world outside is sleeping. While protesters gather beyond the walls and reporters wait for a statement, you're checking cables, monitors, and dosage sheets one last time. Somewhere down the hall, Monroe is living his last hours. He's met with the prison chaplain. He's spoken to his family through a glass window, and soon he'll be given a choice: to speak his final words or stay silent. Dinner is served just before 8. Most states call it the last meal. Some inmates ask for something simple: a sandwich, a piece of fruit. Others order feasts too large to finish. Texas used to allow anything, until one prisoner ordered enough food for 10 men and didn't touch a bite. After that, the rule changed. Now the menu is the same for everyone. As the hours slip away, the building feels colder. You can sense it in the air, the calm before something irreversible. And when the clock strikes 9 tomorrow night, your part begins. 9 p.m. The order comes through the intercom. Proceed. You move with the rest of the team, every step echoing off concrete. No one speaks. No one has to. The corridor to the chamber feels longer than it ever has before. You keep your eyes forward as the door opens, revealing the white room, bright under fluorescent light. The smell of antiseptic hangs in the air, sharp and clean, like it's trying to erase what's about to happen. Monroe is already there, strapped to the gurney. His wrists are bound. His eyes are open. For a second you meet his gaze. There's no plea, no anger, just something unreadable, like resignation wrapped in defiance. The medical staff checks the lines. Monitors beep once, then steady into rhythm. You stand behind the glass panel, hands resting on the console. Your heart is a drum inside your chest. The warden gives a small nod. You follow the procedure exactly. One button, then another. Clear liquid begins its slow travel through the tubing, disappearing into the man's arm. Silence. The witnesses watch from behind their window. Victims' families on one side, the condemned man's on the other. You can feel their presence, even without seeing their faces. It takes less than 5 minutes, but it feels like forever. The body stills. The doctor checks the pulse. He nods once, and just like that, it's over. No cheers, no words, only the hum of the lights and the soft click of the door unlocking. The door closes behind you with a soft metallic click. For a moment you just stand there, not sure what to do next. The procedure is finished, the paperwork already waiting. The world keeps moving, as if nothing happened. You walk down the corridor, past rows of locked doors and silent cells. Each step feels heavier than the last. Somewhere far behind you, the chamber is being cleaned, the lights reset for tomorrow. By morning, it will be just another empty room. Outside, the night air hits you, cold, sharp, almost unreal. You breathe in, but it doesn't feel like relief. There's no sound, no crowd, no applause, just the low hum of distant traffic and the echo of what you've done. You did everything right, followed every step, every rule, and yet, as you drive home through the dark, his face still lingers, the stillness, the silence. They say the job ends when the switch is pressed, but you know better. It follows you home, and some nights when you close your eyes, you swear you can still hear the hum of the lights.